Hello, Browns fans. As they are playing in Philly, that has not stopped the Tony Camino train for drawing up plays and saying what they're doing great. And also, you get to see stick figures. Where else can you see stick figures in a show? Tony Camino did a great article. It's on BelievingInTheLand.com. Check it out. It explains it more in depth. We're doing more of a briefing here of what we saw. This is the second preseason game where overall, really, at least for me, got a lot of relief. Deshaun Watson looked good. Elijah Moore looked really good. DTR keeps looking good. And I thought defense really stood out. I thought they took their foot off the gas after the first series. Outside of Cade York and maybe a backup running back situation, Tony, I felt pretty good after game 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think the defense came out and looked inspired. They were flying around. They looked like they weren't thinking and they were just playing. And that's something we really need to change from last year. Take out the thinking and just play.
It's key in this town. Sometimes we get way too wrapped up about the ancillaries and just simply saying, go to one gap, do certain things, and it just gets way too entangled into the stressfulness. So start off in Deshaun Watson here with our new weapon here, Elijah Moore. Before Tony gets into this, I was blown away by Elijah Moore. I think he is going to be an absolute star on his team. I knew he was going to be good. I did not realize how good he is. Did you get excited after watching him, Tony? I got really excited.
Yeah, I could not have predicted that first play of the game he was going to come out in the backfield. So when I saw that, that just opened up a whole new level of excitement for him.
And when you say that, Tony, is that who you have circled here on the screen that we're seeing right now?
Yeah, that's your first offensive snap of the game. Elijah Moore comes out in the shotgun right next to Deshaun as a running back. And I don't think this is going to be some primary formation we run, but no Nick Chubb, no Jerome Ford. I like that they're experimenting with it. And then he motions out, so we get this 5-out look. And Deshaun seeing the one high safety and Elijah Moore already with leverage on that receiver to just run outside. He can kind of tell that as long as that cornerback doesn't jump him and play this underneath route, he's going to be wide open because he's already got a step on this man from his alignment. And Deshaun does a great job snapping it and getting it to him right in rhythm and a great start to the game.
The Browns have had a hard time spreading out teams. They've been a heavy tight end team. They are a running team because Nick Chubb's really good, and that's fine. But they've had they've had sometimes 2 or 3 tight ends on the field. Multiple, a lot of 2, a lot of sometimes even 3. This is a natural, normal formation. And I really like it. The one thing I would give Elijah Moore credit, he plays the part of an Eric Turner. Metcalf did that again the other day. Metcalf did a lot of these kind of things. I can't remember the last time I can't remember the last time I've seen anything like this.
Yeah, right? I can just think of Deebo Samuel. That's really all I'm thinking.
Right. No, I felt the same way. So it's good to see Metcalf kind of player here. It's great. And again, he really played his talents out really, really, really well on Friday night. And I'm expecting more of this, Tony. Do you agree with these formations?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something we see more because, like you said, these last couple of years they've been really heavy 12 and 13 personnel, which is 2 and 3 tight ends on the field. I think this year they're going to be almost strictly 10 and 11, which is 0 tight ends or 1 tight end on the field. We're going to see them a lot more opened up and spread out.
I think you will too. And again, I think the talent of Moore is not being talked about. He is electric, and he is ready to come out. The Jets clearly did not use him properly. So if you put all that aside, the DTR runner A train is here. There's always seems to be one once in a while. It's like, that's our next quarterback. I'm obviously buying in. I don't think it should be now, obviously. But, Tony, are you starting to buy into DTR the more you watch him?
The more I watch, I mean, everyone knew his talent with his legs. Like, the talent was there. That was known. But he looks so polished with his technique, with his reads. He looks way farther than a 5th-round pick. And it looks like a complete whiff on the scouts. I mean, it's way too early to make that full judgment yet. But he's been really impressive.
Really has been. So this is a play here that Tony drew up here for our guy DTR. Explain what we're seeing here, Tony, on this first slide.
So just a simple spot concept here. The receiver further split out is running that little route right at the linebacker, and he's going to stop. This is going to be cover 2 once he sees that safety on his boundary side, the left, split back. So he'll see that's cover 2. And in cover 2, you're looking to exploit that either the middle third or that weak spot in between the cornerback circled in red and the safety. And so that's
Yeah.
what the route by the tight end does. And on the snap, he's just going to read the red circle guy. And if he comes down on the flat on the running back breaking out, he can hit that tight end. And if not, he can hit the running back. And he did a great job here. And so, yeah, you can see right there the red spot. That's where he's looking to attack right here. And the tight end gets there. The cornerback plays too much on the running back. And honestly, the cornerback did a really good job breaking on it. And it was a super tight window, but he made a good throw, and it was a good catch for a nice game.
People need to remember the running game is not just there to run the ball. It's a distraction. The Browns can really run the ball with Nick Chubb. So to Tony's point, this play is going to be available because Nick Chubb's very good. You're going to have opportunities like that. I think, again, I did not see a lot of this last year. Did not see, going back to the other frame, did not see a lot of this year where you see a running back, so a wide receiver go out in the flat like this.
Mm-hmm.
These are good things to see. It's a lot more motion, but it's motion that's actually productive. Do you agree, Tony? I like this. In the past, I feel like we're kind of forcing it. I don't feel like we're forcing it at all right now.
Yeah. I mean, to keep it in simple terms is like these last couple of years with Baker and Jacoby, no teams were playing two high safeties because then that's one less guy to fit the run. And they don't want that against Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb would just run all over you. If we're going to get looks this year where we're seeing pretty consistently two high safeties, Nick Chubb is going to have field days and have 100 yards with ease.
It's something to keep in mind. It's not always about with the running back, they're running to get first downs or something. It's a distraction. It really is. And Elijah Moore is going to also cause distractions too. There is the defense here, Tony, and you brought up a play. Again, the defense played so well. I know you didn't highlight him, so I want to talk about Emerson here in a second. But you highlighted here Tomlinson and Thornhill. What did you see here on this play?
Yeah, so this was right after we didn't score the touchdown, obviously. Right after Okoronkwo had a nice pressure. So it's second down and long. Dalvin Tomlinson was lined up right on the outside shoulder of the guard. Thornhill was over the tight end, kind of in the fit because they were playing man. The tight end, right on the snap, pulled back around, and the down blocks you see by the O-lineman told Thornhill that this is a run play. So right away, he stays in his gap instead of following his man. Tomlinson did something I've never seen a Browns D tackle do, engage in the block and then disengage right at the perfect time to make the tackle, and that's going to result in a tackle for loss, and it was really beautiful to see in action.
Couple things there Tony said. We have had a lack of D tackles here. Tomlinson can play, and Tomlinson's big. He's a big kid. And I'll tell you something you didn't see here in this game, but I'm telling you the train's coming is Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett's going to be a stud this year. Mm-hmm. He always is. I think he's going to be even better. I think he's going to be an MVP type of guy. I'm really expecting big things. And the other guy I wanted to point out that Tony doesn't have here, but something I just want to point out is visually is Emerson. I think Emerson needs to start. I think Emerson needs to start above Newsome. I think he is a ball hawk. I think he's a playmaker on defense. Your thoughts on Emerson?
Yeah, I think Emerson's unfortunately for Newsome, he's the better guy to play outside. He's more built to play outside.
Right.
Luckily for Newsome, though, I think we're going to be playing mostly three cornerbacks on the field, so he'll still get a lot of time, but he has to make that adjustment inside because Emerson is just too good as a press corner and way too good in the run game to not be an outside corner.
They're practicing right now in Philly. This has been similar results we've seen on defense. Defense really gave the Eagles fits yesterday, and vice versa. The Eagles defense gave a little bit of fits to the Browns, but in one preseason game, Tony, I have calmed down on expectations outside of cage work. But I really do. I feel a lot better. How do you feel after 2 games now in?
I feel great. I really think the defense is going to be great this year, and if all goes right for the offense, I don't know how anyone's going to stop them but ourselves.
As well said. Did you hear that? Don't turn over the ball. Don't be bringing in Josh Dobson 4th and 1. You keep your quarterback in there. Don't overthink it. These are alignments. I mean, obviously we've seen them, but not to this point. They're being executed very, very well. This was a confidence boost for the fans, for the coaching staff, and for the people in Berea. This preseason game went pretty good. Outside, again, of one Cade York miss, I think everything was pretty manageable. Tony did a full article. It's really well done. If you love these kind of things, or even if you're new to it, read it. Tony does a great job of explaining why certain things are being done. We gave here in a brief video. Go to BelieveInTheLand.com. Check it out. Always go to all of our videos and Believe in the Land on YouTube. And, of course, at Official Cleveland Sports after the Browns games coming soon. me probably losing my brain or hopefully clapping along the way. Tony here. I'm Andy Billman here. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys soon.